Site definition, Adobe Dreamweaver CS4. The purpose of this piece of software is for web designers to make many pieces or many websites. And one of the first things that you will need to do when making a new website is do a site definition or create a site definition. This tells Dreamweaver where on the hard drive or where on your network share it's going to be locating its website, and it's a very important step, and it's probably the first thing that a web designer needs to do before creating a site. You're going to have to do it a lot, so we'll go through the steps in order to do that. First, open the File Explorer down the bottom of the screen. Once you're in there, make sure you full screen, and at our school you're looking for your N drive on the left, which should be under this PC. Go to your N drive, and for the purposes of the GCSE course that you're on, make a folder for putting all your work in. I'm going to make a new folder here, and I'm going to call it ICT. Inside that folder, I've navigated inside to it, so that's located in N ICT. All we need to do now is make a folder and tell Dreamweaver where that website is. It's very important that when making a website that one actually makes a folder to put the content in. So in the same way, making a new folder, and I'm going to call this website. It could be called anything, but for the purposes of this demo, we're going to call it website. Going back to Dreamweaver, now we have to do the site definition, which is as follows. Site, manage sites, new, site. Personally, I always press advanced. It's probably an easier way of setting this up. It's a lot quicker. We click advanced. You give a name. This is the name of the site that's going to appear on the right hand side of the screen over here. I'm going to use the name of the site, CIDR, which stands for Certificate in Digital Applications, which is what most of you will be doing. The local root folder is where on the computer that folder I just made earlier is stored. Well, at the moment, Dreamweaver thinks that it's stored on the C drive. If I go to if I navigate on File Explorer, you'll see it's not. It's located on my N drive in a folder called ICT, and it's called Website. And in fact, that is the path to where my website is stored, and I want that to be read there. So I click on the little folder, and I'm going to navigate to that directory, which was this PC. Scroll down to the bottom, my N drive. In there I made a folder called ICT, and in there I made a folder called website. I'm double clicking on those. I press select. We have a little bug with Adobe Dreamweaver CS4 at school where sometimes the last part of the path is left off. I'm afraid that's just a little frustration we have to work around. If I click back on the folder, and you'll see it omitted the word website off the end there. So I double click on website, and you can still see it's omitting it off the end. That's actually a very important fix that needs to be applied. So we can either copy the path from here in File Explorer, or we can actually just type it manually ourselves. So I could, however, instead of doing that, I could have simply just typed website. Because I knew that's where it was going to be. However, that is very important that that is what actually gets put in, the final path to where your website will get created. This is where all the web pages are going to sit, images, and everything for that website will live. Press OK, you've done everything you need to, and press Done. You've now defined your site, and provided you are now looking at the Files menu inside Dreamweaver, you can now start to make pages. So we right-click on there, and we say New File. It'll default to untitled.html. The main name for most web pages, or at least the home page, should always have this name, and the name that we usually use is index.html. The name index is because it is for a web server, and index is the first page that a web server looks for when your page gets viewed. You can double click on that, and you can start to work on your web page in the code view, or in design view, or in split view.